Hi everyone, this is new moon reading for the collective. Firstly, quickly to say where we're at. We're coming into a new moon, which is always perfect for new beginnings, to set out new things. And we're just coming out of the moon being in Pices, and it's going into Aries. Pices is a very emotional time, and you will have found that the last few weeks especially have been extremely emotional and very draining and challenging. But we're now going into Aries, which is a time of new beginnings. It's a new way forward, and you will find that you have more power behind you, more steam behind you again. We're also on the 8th going into a solar eclipse, which basically means the sun and the moon are both aligned. And when that happens in Aries, that is a perfect time, because it's a time of new beginning. It's a time of really starting something new. It's the first sign of the zodiac. If we're having an eclipse, a solar eclipse, on that day when the new moon is just moving into Aries, it just tells us it's a very powerful time. It's time to really start focusing on what you want, to make sure that you really get what you want out of this year and go for it. It's a perfect time for new beginnings, to really start new challenges. So if you have anything where you really want to learn something or explore something, now is the time to do it. Really go for it, and you will find it's actually a very good time for you to learn new things as well. So, with that said, let's have a look what we're getting here for the collective. Okay, so a reading for the collective. Basically what that means is we're looking at the energies of the new moon right now and just see what is there to watch out for, what we need to really focus on. As I said previously, and I also put it in the comments here, do not ever try to make anything fit. If what I'm saying now doesn't fit and doesn't work for you, don't try to make it fit. It either does or it doesn't. If it doesn't, then just now possibly the next one does. But let's have a look where we're going and see how things are coming together. So anything to really watch out for, or what's coming up. So let's see where we're going. So, okay, so this is a good start. Now, what this is telling me is that we're coming, as I mentioned before, we're coming out of this really emotionally draining time, and out of this time where everything has been very heightened and very over the top. Like, if you felt bad, you didn't just feel bad, you felt really awful. If you felt happy, you didn't feel just happy, you felt really excited. That kind of energy that I'm getting here is it's been a very draining, very challenging time emotionally. And this is telling me here that we're coming to the end of that. We are back at a point where we can actually start moving forward. This is about making sure that you actually don't just focus on one thing over the coming weeks, that you actually start looking at a few different things. Have some options, have some choices, because the last thing you want is to really put your all into one thing right now and then later on feel like, God, this has been too intense. I've just been focusing on this one thing all the time. Make sure you have a few things that you actually like. For example, you might want to start reading this new book, or you might want to start exploring how to build a website, for example, or how to do some writing, or start wanting to paint. Just look at a couple of things right now and really look at what it is that you really feel passionate about and start really working towards achieving that. And the reason why I'm saying is about having two things at least rather than one is because the time right now is just so good that in a way it would be wasted to just focus on one thing. It goes against everything I would normally say, because usually it's about focusing on one thing and really giving that your all. But sometimes Spirit tells us, no, right now is the time to actually do more than one thing. And this is one of those times right now. So yeah, focus on what feels exciting, focus on what feels really good for you right now, and really start embracing the new again, because things have been so stagnant for a while. I know they have, because it's the energy has been a very stagnant energy, and we're now going into a into a next chapter, really, where things are coming together. So let's have another look. Yeah, it's just about really starting to be yourself again. For too long you have been holding back, you have been feeling like, yeah, I want to do this, but I can't because of, and try to kind of like, when this comes up, to not even give yourself the option of saying I can't because of, and just look at, yeah, I can because I can. You know, it's about really starting to be who you want to be again. This is a really powerful time right now. A new moon generally is a time of new beginnings, as you know, and it's, like I said earlier, because we also got the solar eclipse with it. We just come out of a lunar eclipse only a couple of weeks ago, and it's all just about moving forward and actually being in your power and really starting to embrace life again. It has been, as we know, it has been stagnant, it has been challenging. You have gone through a lot. I know a lot of us all have done, and it's about really starting to say to yourself, now, I have had my fair share of things to deal with. I'm now ready to fully embrace the newer, happier times. I want to also take a few of those cards, of the Oracle cards, because I sometimes do have given another view. Excuse me. So where are we going here? Let's see. I'll put a couple. Okay, so basically, interesting enough, both of, well, not really surprising because that's how spirit works, but it's all related to it. It's all about letting go of the past. It's about letting go of what hasn't worked anymore. It's about really starting to say, I'm happy now. And the more you keep saying that to yourself, the more you keep saying, I'm happy now, I deserve to be happy, and I want out back. The more you do that, the more you start noticing that, yes, actually you start feeling happy. And it's about looking at, like it says, looking at the magic all around us. It's so easy to sometimes feel like everything has been quite hard and I'm not seeing anything positive, but there is actually a lot of good things happening in your life too. It's sometimes we look back at the past and only see all the bad stuff that happened, because the bad stuff outweighs the good a lot of the time in our mind, because our brain is wired in a way that we look a lot more at what has happened that wasn't good, but we don't actually look at all the things that have actually happened that were good. You can be, for example, in a really bad relationship, but from that relationship came a child, for example, and that means so much to you. And it's about looking at, okay, this has been bad, but what came out of it that might have been actually good? Or you kind of like, you're a painter and you can't paint anymore, and you just start doing something else, and then suddenly you find that by doing that, you now have a new passion for something else completely different. It's about looking at what has gotten you to where you are now, and how you can actually turn the negatives that have happened into positive things. And it's about embracing all this, and this is right now is the perfect time for this. It's a perfect time to really start saying to yourself, okay, I'm ready, bring on the life that I deserve, because I deserve it. And that's basically where we're at. Start focusing on what it is you want, and be ready for the amazing few months coming up and few weeks coming up. Use this time wisely right now. These kind of times where everything is aligned so that we can really start moving forward, they don't come up that often. Use it. Don't let it go to waste. And that's why Spirit mentioned, try to focus on more than one thing right now, because the energy is behind you right now so that you can do it and it won't wear you out. I hope that helped a little bit, and see you again next time.